We're going to talk about zero trust today and what that looks like in the overall scheme of your security setup. So traditional perimeter security kind of takes the idea that anything inside of your firewall, inside of your network, is inherently secure. And so anything that's in here may not necessarily go through the same type of continuous evaluation for whether or not this particular device, whether that be a computer, access point, or anything, is actually doing what you expect it to. And so zero trust basically is the idea that you never trust anything and you always verify. So instead of just saying, hey, because this exists inside my perimeter, inside my firewall, I trust what this is doing, we want to say, who is this, or who is on this device, and what are they doing? And so we introduce a number of things inside of here to help with this. One big key factor of that is multi-factor authentication. So we want to know who the user is and then verify with a second factor or more, depending on how secure you want things to be, that you actually know who they are. The other aspect of stuff is segmentation. And so you use this idea, it's been around for a long time, but you can take it a step further with segmentation and microsegmentation to say, okay, we'll separate things off from this standpoint. So this might be your finance department. This might be marketing. And so inside of that, we can have resources that these people are expected to access. So outside of just even your traditional file permissions and things like that on a file share that sits out here for things. So marketing can get to that particular file share and they might have access to a set of folders. Finance gets to a different portion of that file share. Even with inside of that, we can say, okay, this finance person can't even leave this section that they're in without actually knowing who they are, that type of thing. And so as new devices might jump onto the network, they can kind of be isolated over here until we actually know who they are. And so rather than just dropping onto your Wi-Fi and you assume that that device is secure, we put that device in an isolated space, and then we need to figure out, oh, hey, this is one of our IT engineers, or this is somebody from marketing, and then that allows us to grant additional access past there. And so one of those big key pieces to that is strong identity and device verification. So we're implementing those type of things. We're putting other pieces of software on an endpoint so that we can actually know who it is, who it belongs to, and what we expect that stuff to be doing. And so basically there's kind of those three pillars to that overall aspect of zero trust. You have that strong identity verification. This kind of becomes that must to make sure that that's doing what you want. You have the idea of least privilege. That's been around for a long time, but the idea is that you only provide the bare minimum of what is needed for somebody to do their job. So that's again where some of that segmentation comes in. Instead of this kind of being all in one space, there can be resources isolated over here that they don't need any access to, so you simply don't grant them any access. And so you only provide that bare minimum of what's needed. And then the last piece in order for this to be effective is that idea of continuous monitoring. So you need to continue to say, who's on this device, right? I don't just inherently trust this device and say, oh, it's marketing and get to those things. I can say, oh, this is my director of marketing, or this is a marketing assistant, or for some reason now somebody from finance is on this device. Hey, that doesn't have access anymore, and we can drop it down here or move it over into a separate section. And so that continuous monitoring and evaluation is what allows you to close things off, segment things off, and help reduce any type of lateral movement or risk that you might have with inside of there. And so it's a step beyond when we talk about just being, hey, things are protected inside the firewall. We now have additional checks that we're doing to provide security inside of there. We hope you found that this high-level overview of zero trust was helpful to explain what this concept is and where it might be needed inside your environment. So hopefully this was helpful. Like and subscribe if you'd like more content.